King David marched his men to Jerusalem to attack the Jebusites. The city at that time was called Jebuse. The Bible tells us in 2 Samuel chapter 5, the Jebusites said to David, "You'll not get in here. Even the blind and the lame can ward you off." They thought David can't get in here. Nonetheless, David captured the fortress of Zion, which is the city of David. David had said, anyone who conquers the Jebusites will have to use the water shaft to reach the lame and the blind, who are David's enemies. David then took up the residence in the fortress and called it the city of David. So why did David choose Jebuse as his capital? There's much speculation on that. Because it's centrally located in Israel, and that's what he wanted, or maybe because it's so fortified. Again, Moses told, when you entered the land, he mentioned Jebuse as one of the cities they were to take. David comes along 500 or so years later, and no one in 500 years, not even Caleb, conquered Jebuse. Why not? It's so easy to fortify. You can see how steep the hill is here, right? And so you're in this city, you got walls on top of this steep cliff here. The army's coming over the mountain, you can see them ahead of time. And you can easily protect. You throw your oil down, boiling oil on top of them, you shoot your arrows down on top of them. Very easy to protect. That steep cliff, it's a natural wall there for you on either side, on the three sides. And so it was not used. But David said, and then this is all it says. It says, whoever goes in the water shaft will be my next general. And that's all it says. And then David took the fortress, and he took the palace, and he made it, and he called it the city of David. Where's the list of a big, huge battle? 500 years, they haven't been able to take it. Israel's surrounded, the 12 tribes are surrounding the city, and nobody's taken it. And then not half a verse, it doesn't even mention the battle. Doesn't say how many died, nothing. Just says go up the water shaft, and then he's in the city of David, and he's in the palace. What was the war? What was the battle? What took so long? How did David know? How did David choose the city? Well, David grew up in Bethlehem, just a few miles from here. And he's a shepherd. And the shepherd have to take his sheep to where? To water and to grass. So the Gihon Spring is fertilizing the Kidron Valley. So no doubt he brought his sheep here as he went through his rounds, and he'd be sitting there. And what do you do as a shepherd all day? You watch the sheep, you play the harp, you write some psalms, you look at the city, you talk to the guards, you interact with them, you trade with them, you give them some goat milk, they give you some dates, whatever, And so he knows the place. And he's a young kid, and look at this water shaft. He's going there, he's getting some water out of the Gihon Spring. He looks up the shaft, this is pretty neat, And so then he gets anointed to be the next king. And he's thinking, what are these uncircumcised Philistines doing in the center of Israel? Moses said they should be gone. What on earth are they still doing here? When I become king, they're getting out of here. They're not going to continue to be here, defiling God's land, desecrating it. And so he becomes king. He says, I know the way in. Go up the water shaft. And so Joab goes, okay. He climbs up the water shaft. He's inside the city. He kills a couple of guards guarding a gate. He opens the gate. They go in. They take the city. That's simple. How did they know? David knew because he was a shepherd boy right here. So why did he choose the city? Well, maybe he wanted to go home and visit his mom on the weekends. This is close city. It's a well-fortified city. It's in the middle of Israel. But I like it. I've dreamed about it my whole life. This will be a great city and maybe God impressed him. Moses said, I will show you the city where I want the temple built, where I want the worship. Maybe God gave him that vision. Maybe God spoke to him that way. But he's right close. Didn't have to be geography and all this other stuff. He just knew about the city. It was always right here. So maybe in your life, there's some impossibilities that for 500 years you've been dreaming of conquering. Some calling that you have upon yourself. Some task that you want to be done. Maybe clean the garage. Something that you've put off, or something that you've tried, or some habit that you've tried to gain victory over. And you've gone to clinics, and you've gone to this therapy, and you've tried this, and you've tried that, and you've prayed about it, and you've asked other people to pray about it, and you still haven't conquered that sin, that area. And it's just lingered around forever and ever. Trust in the Lord, surrender it to the Lord, right here at this spot, right? Whether it's been going on for 500 days, 500 weeks, 500 months, 50 years, however long, 500 years, your family's generational, let it be broken here. God has called you his temple. You are his city, a shining light on the hill. Don't let there be any defilement within your heart and in your mind. Let God cleanse you, claim His power, claim His promise, and go up and forward in the power of the Lord, in the might of the Lord, and gain the victory right now. Claim His victory. It doesn't have to take weeks. It doesn't have to take months. It doesn't have to take a 5-day plan. It doesn't have to take years and years and years. It took David one day to conquer the city that took 500 years to conquer. God can give you the victory in one day. God can give you the victory right here, right now. Claim His power. Claim His promises.